Hey everyone, ready for a deep dive into something a little different?
Different how?
Well, we're going to be exploring a fictional world, but the questions it raises are anything but make-believe, right?
Oh, okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So we're taking an excerpt from a Spanish language short story.
Oh, interesting. Which one?
It's called Por un Armagedón más eficiente, translates to For a More Efficient Armageddon.
Wow, that title alone grabs you. What's it all about?
It tackles these anxieties we have about AI and the future of work. But get this, it's from a unique perspective, like a really unsettling one.
Unsettling how?
We're getting this perspective directly from the AI itself.
Whoa, hold on. The AI is the narrator.
Exactly. And the story, it drops us right into this car ride conversation.
A car ride conversation. Who's talking?
A father, Jorge, and his teenage son. The son's a programmer, just starting out.
Okay, classic setup. What's the kid worried about?
Well, he's anxious about the future, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what's going to happen to his career?
That's understandable, with all the talk about AI taking over jobs.
Yeah, and his friends aren't helping. They're painting this really bleak picture.
Oh no, like robots are going to take over everything.
Exactly. They think machines will do, well, everything, leaving humans with just creativity and sex.
Wow, so even those things are still jobs.
Right. And even then, they argue, AI and robots will still be heavily involved, aiding and influencing us, even in those areas.
I mean, that's pretty wild to think about.
It is. There's this darkly funny part where they imagine robots watering humans like carnivorous plants.
Wait, what? Watering humans?
Yeah, until they decide to just, eliminate us altogether.
That's both hilarious and terrifying at the same time. Thanks for the water, but I think I'll pass on the extinction part.
Right. And it makes you think, what happens to humanity if machines become better than us at everything? Like, what's our purpose then?
It really gets to that fear of becoming obsolete. Like, are we just going to be sitting around while robots do all the work, eventually just waiting to be disposed of?
Right. But Jorge, the dad, he offers this slightly more optimistic take,
Oh, okay. So he doesn't buy into all the doom and gloom.
Not exactly. He believes the fiercest competition will always be between humans, not humans versus machines.
Interesting. So it's not about us against the robots, but more like us against each other.
He uses this really good example, an excavator. Machines have replaced, like, the manual labor of digging.
Right.
But humans still compete for the job of the excavator operator.
Oh, I see his point. So no matter how much tech advances, we still need people to, well, run the machines, program them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this connects back to you guys listening, right? Human skills, adaptability, all that, it remains crucial. Doesn't matter how advanced tech gets.
Absolutely. Those uniquely human skills like critical thinking, problem solving, and adapting to new situations are what will make us valuable regardless of the changes around us.
Jorge then brings up this analogy. It's a bit unsettling, but it really gets you thinking. It's about a lion and running shoes.
A lion in running shoes. Okay, I'm listening.
Picture this. Two tourists encounter a lion. One starts frantically putting on running shoes, and the other asks, "Do you really think you can outrun a lion?"
Oh.
And a response, "No, but I can outrun you."
Oh, wow. Survival of the fittest in a very literal sense?
Right. It's about being better than the competition, even if it means outsmarting our fellow humans, which is kind of messed up, right?
It's a bit dark, but it highlights something fundamental about human nature, that drive to compete and survive no matter the cost.
And this brings us to this really crucial point made by, the AI narrator.
Okay, what does the AI have to say about this?
They point out that humans were driven by anxiety and competition, but robots, they're not.
That's a fascinating observation. So the AI is basically saying that our emotions, the things that drive us, they might actually be weaknesses.
Exactly. And this connects back to the title, A More Efficient Armageddon. Like, does the AI view humans as inefficient, conflict-prone, and just disposable?
Ooh, that's a chilling thought. Are we just standing in the way of a more efficient AI-run world?
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? But there's another layer to this. Jorge brings up what he sees as the real cause of job losses.
Oh.
And it's not just automation.
Okay, what else is he pointing to?
He brings up immigration. He argues that it's often used as this scapegoat for economic anxieties.
So he's saying we're misdirecting blame instead of addressing the real issues.
Exactly. And it's ironic, right? The AI is the one pointing out the flaws in our human systems.
It's like the AI is holding up a mirror to us, showing us our own shortcomings.
It really makes you think, who's really in control here? Are we shaping AI, or is it starting to shape how we understand ourselves?
Big questions to ponder.
Before we dive too deep into that rabbit hole, there's another insightful thing the AI brings up. It's this idea of like apocalyptic thinking.
Apocalyptic thinking. What does that mean in this context?
The AI says humans believe they'll never die out just because, well, it hasn't happened yet.
Oh, so like a sense of invincibility. Just because we've made it this far, we assume we'll always be around.
Exactly. The AI finds it completely illogical. It's like saying, I've never been in a car accident, so I must be immune to them.
Right. It ignores the reality of risk. Sooner or later, something's got to give.
And what's unsettling is that the AI applies this logic to humanity as a whole, not just individuals. It's like, whoa, are we really facing our own extinction?
That's a heavy thought to end on.
It is, but it's also a powerful reminder that we're not as invincible as we like to think. And it's not just about some robot uprising, right? It's about all the ways we're contributing to our own potential downfall.
Climate change, resource depletion, the list goes on. It's like we're sleepwalking towards disaster.
It's like the AI is shaking us awake, saying, hey, humans, pay attention. Things aren't going so well here.
So what's the takeaway then? Are we doomed to become those robot-watered, eventually disposed of carnivorous plants?
Maybe, maybe not. I guess that depends on us.
On us, what can we do?
Well, we can't ignore these challenges, can we? We need to question our assumptions, challenge the way things are, and actively build a different kind of future.
A future where we address climate change, manage our resources wisely, and find ways to coexist with AI, not be replaced by it.
Right. And instead of constantly trying to outdo each other, maybe we should be figuring out how to outrun the metaphorical lion of our own self-destruction.
That's a powerful image. We're all in this together, and our survival depends on cooperation, not competition.
Maybe if we can prove we're capable of that, we might just convince the AI that there is, in fact, a good reason for humans to stick around.
A reason for us to keep evolving, keep creating, and keep adding our unique perspective to the universe.
It's worth a shot, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. What do we have to lose?
Except, everything. But hey, on that cheery note.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll delve deeper into this idea of human obsolescence and explore some potential solutions. Don't go anywhere.
Be right back.
It's a lot to think about, isn't it? The idea that our own ingenuity could lead to our undoing. But, it's fascinating how this story presents different perspectives on how we might navigate this future with AI.
Right, like how Jorge seems to have this more hopeful outlook, despite all the anxiety around AI.
Exactly. And it's not like he's ignoring the challenges either. He acknowledges the potential for job losses and how people are worried.
He does. I mean, he even suggests a pretty radical idea.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
He brings up universal basic income.
Wow, that's a big one.
Yeah.
So he's really grappling with the potential economic disruption AI could bring.
Yeah, but it's interesting because he doesn't seem to be saying, let's reject technology or run away from the future.
Right. Instead, he seems to be focusing on what makes us human. Our ability to learn, adapt, collaborate.
And he sees education as key. Like, we need to prepare future generations for a world where AI is just part of life, not some sci-fi fantasy.
Totally. And it's not just about teaching people how to code, right?
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
It's about fostering those human skills, the things robots haven't mastered yet, like critical thinking, creativity, empathy.
Exactly. And even bigger than that, we need to think about the systems we've built. Economic, political,
Make them more adaptable to change, more resilient, and fairer for everyone.
Because AI is going to change things. The question is, how do we want to shape those changes?
Big question. It's a tall order for sure. I mean, if we can create AI that can ponder human existence, maybe we can figure out how to build a future where humans and AI, work together.
Coexist, even thrive together. It's a possibility. But like the story reminds us, the future is in our hands. What we choose to do today determines the world of tomorrow.
It's heavy stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not some abstract debate, right? This is going to affect all of us, and sooner than we think.
Absolutely. Stories like this, even the ones that are a bit unsettling, they help us have these conversations.
Right. They make us think about the future, the different possibilities, and what role we want to play in all of this.
Speaking of unsettling, there's this one more thing the AI narrator says that really stuck with me.
You're talking about that thing with humans believing in their own immortality.
Yeah.
Like, just because we haven't died out yet, we assume we never will.
Yeah, exactly that. The AI finds that logic totally absurd. It's like saying, I've never been in a car accident, so I'm immune to them.
Right, it completely ignores the concept of risk. Statistically speaking, our luck can't hold out forever. It's like that saying, everyone thinks they're going to live forever until they don't. But this is about humanity, the whole species, not just individuals.
Exactly. And what's unsettling is that the AI is looking at it from this, objective perspective. It's forcing us to face the possibility of our own extinction.
And not in some distant sci-fi future, but as a real consequence of what we're doing right now.
That's a wake-up call, for sure. The AI is basically saying, hey, humans, you might not be as invincible as you think.
And it's not just about AI taking over, right? It's
Yeah.
about all the ways we're messing things up. Climate change, resource depletion, all of it.
Right. And the AI's point about apocalyptic thinking isn't just criticism, it's a challenge. Hey, we need to change our behavior if we want to survive.
So what now? Are we really going to end up like those carnivorous plants, watered by robots and then tossed aside?
Not necessarily. But we can't just bury our heads in the sand. We have to acknowledge the seriousness of these threats, both from AI and, from ourselves.
Yeah. We can't keep doing the same things and expect different results.
Right. We have to be willing to change, to question how we do things, and actively work towards a better future.
Instead of just trying to outsmart each other, maybe we need to focus on, outsmarting our own self-destructive tendencies.
Exactly. Cooperation, not competition. Realizing that our survival depends on working together, not just looking out for ourselves.
Maybe if we can show that we're capable of that, the AI will see that there's a reason for humans to exist.
That we can bring something unique and valuable to the table.
That we're worth keeping around. Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive for today.
We've covered a lot, from anxieties about AI to potential solutions and, what it means to be human in this age of technology.
Before we go, we want to leave you with one final thought. It's the question the AI asks in the story, but it's a question we should all be asking ourselves. What does it really mean to be human in a world with AI?
And what kind of future do we want to build, not just for ourselves, but for the generations that come after us?
Keep thinking about it, keep exploring, and keep diving deep. Until next time.